On the 27th of March 2026, I officially hit the requirements for a monetized YouTube channel. But to be honest, it didn't feel how I expected. In fact, this video didn't turn out how I expected it would either, because it could easily have been a 10 tips to get monetized faster video or something like that. But I want to address other things that I think are more important instead. Because for most people, monetization is something to celebrate. It's a milestone, a real one. Not so much financially, but it does mean that you've reached a level that most channels never do. But when I crossed 4,000 hours of watch time, I just sat there staring at the screen. I expected excitement, maybe even pride, but if I'm honest, what I felt most was relief, like a weight had been lifted. And I've spent some time trying to understand why, and I think I know the answer now. So let's go back 10 months to the 30th of May 2025. That's when I got up at 5 a.m. and made my first video. I'd been laid off from work and I decided to commit to starting and monetizing a YouTube channel. I went back and watched that video yesterday, and what I've realized, particularly in the last few months, as I've reflected on this journey, is that I didn't really have a plan or a proper niche. I just committed to starting and sharing the journey. The goal was pretty simple: build a channel and show people what it actually takes. So monetization, it just became the finish line. It was the proof that I'd done what I said I would do. Some people see this channel as a growth channel, and I think I've thought that too. But looking back, I never set out to be one. Not once in that first video did I say that. What I said was I'd share what I learn as I go. The good and the bad days, the wins and the losses, the doubts. And if I had a bad day, I made a video about it. So this channel became more like a vlog, a diary. And because I shared growth, people started to see it as a growth channel. But in reality, I covered everything: editing, gear, studio setup, mindset, productivity, and much more. Multiple niches all in one place. And looking back now, I never really niched down at all. Could I have grown faster if I did? Probably. But that wasn't the point. I chose authenticity over speed because I can't show you the real journey if I cut out the difficult parts. And I think that's why monetization felt like relief, because I'd carried that commitment the whole way, from being stuck at 19 subscribers after 2.5 months, to regularly questioning what I was even doing, to being frustrated with the algorithm, which, to be honest, I still am sometimes, but I've just got better at ignoring it. And when I hit monetization, all of this came back. Every video, every doubt, the countless hours that I've spent on this. And it made me realize something that's important. Consistency isn't just uploading every week. It's showing up when you don't feel like it, when it's not fun, when you're not sure it's working. The people who make it aren't always the most talented. They're the ones that kept going, even if it's sometimes not enjoyable. And then they kept going after that. And this commitment to see it through, it wasn't always easy. There were, and there still are, doubts about what I'm doing. And, of course, where I'm going to go next. So am I done? Should I just call it quits and go back to earning some real money at last? And what's the future of YouTube and my place within it, if any? Because over the years, I've really seen YouTube's changed, and it's not always necessarily for the better. Back in 2017, I started my first channel. The niche was tutorials on recording software, audio and editing. I made a single video and then released nothing more for over a year. And during that break, I made several videos on cryptocurrency, but never released any of them. In 2018, I started up again, sticking to the original niche. But my uploads were sporadic, sometimes weeks or even months apart, and yet that channel was successful with only 10 videos released. And even though I abandoned it, it kept growing without me. Part of this was definitely because the content was evergreen. Some of those videos actually still get views even now, although they're really, really outdated. But the weird thing is, at one point, that channel was practically monetized. I had way over the watch time that I needed and almost enough subscribers. And this was on a channel that went against every piece of YouTube advice that you'll hear nowadays. And because I abandoned it, I didn't even know it had grown in silence. So this means that I've basically done this monetization process twice now. But what stands out to me now, looking back, is how honest that channel felt. YouTube's push towards browse was just starting and search was still really strong. So when someone had a question, your video was designed to answer it, and they give you their attention and time in return. It's a simple exchange, mutual and clean. Nowadays, it seems to me that retention in some niches is based around just continuously manipulating people so they keep watching, rather than, providing actual value by making content they actually need. And it's definitely present in the YouTube growth niche. I mean, save the real info until near the end. Keep promising it throughout the video. Try to keep them watching as long as possible. And fill all the space between any potential value with waffle and build up to the real info. I'm not sure that what YouTube calls satisfaction is the term that I'd use for this. Stringing people along for as long as possible, effectively wasting their time on purpose to drag out view duration, is not my definition of an honest transaction of value. Why have so many people fallen into this trap of making or consuming these type of videos? And then there's the flip-flopping from one side to the other. 1 minute, you'll get a creator who says YouTube is in easy mode. And then they'll make a new video 2 weeks later, suddenly telling you it's in hard mode. Many of these videos are engineered just to make you feel good and watch more. And they make you feel like you've gotten something out of it. But many of them really don't get you anywhere. Because feeling motivated is not the same as making progress. And I'll admit, I've sometimes felt the pressure to do these kind of videos myself. I think I've forced myself to, because that's what all the advice says works, to use titles that manufacture urgency, to make thumbnails designed to trigger a reaction rather than describe the actual content, to chase browse traffic, the algorithm feeding your videos to people who weren't really looking for it, by packaging them in a way that makes people click before they've even thought about it. But every time I do this, it just felt off. Not slightly uncomfortable, but fundamentally wrong, like I was moving away from who I am. And look, people can do what they want. If they feel okay with that, then go for it. I'm just saying it doesn't feel good for me. So here's what I've learned. Your YouTube journey is about how you choose to play the game. You can follow the system and maybe grow faster, but the real question is, can you live with how you're doing it? Because I've seen a lot of creators get stuck. And it's not because they're not capable, but because they're overwhelmed. Conflicting advice, changing strategies, endless best practices, and instead of following their own path, they drift further away from themselves. And eventually, they just end up quitting. So what's the solution then for me in this channel? Well, I'm at a crossroads. I've done what I set out to do. I've reached monetization. That chapter's complete. So what's next? Well, the good news is that despite how it might seem sometimes, honesty on YouTube isn't dead, and nor is search. Diminished maybe, but not dead. There are plenty of examples of search performing amazingly. I have videos that have done just that on this channel. And while different niches may have different levels of success with search, it's certainly not dead, especially for new channels. And this has been confirmed by Christos Goodrow, who's the Vice President of Engineering at YouTube. And even more telling is that there are large numbers of videos out there that literally just tell you in their thumbnail and titles exactly what you're going to get from the video before you even watch it. Look at this example on the screen here now. It's just exactly what the video is about in the title and thumbnail, and it's successful. So there's hope for people like me who just don't feel quite right with the curiosity stuff. It is possible to succeed with honesty, integrity, and provide what people actually want, not what they're conned into watching. And here's possibly an even bigger thing, something that might force a change in the future. In my live stream on the 25th of March, I talked about a news story that had been released that day. regarding the court case that Meta and YouTube recently lost. The focus of this was on social media addiction, doom scrolling, staying on the platform for hours on end, and more importantly, how social media platforms go about encouraging or enabling this. Now, whether you agree with restrictions and enforcement of these issues or not, some countries like Australia have already banned young people from using social media platforms, and others are debating it too. And now this court case sets the precedent for potentially more action by governments and regulators to implement more controls on these platforms. And even more significant might be the action that YouTube itself needs to take to try and minimize the damage from future lawsuits, of which, as I understand it, there are many more to come. Is it possible we might go back to a previous way of doing YouTube? I don't know. Maybe. And for me, that doesn't necessarily sound like an entirely bad thing. Because the motivation loop and the content addiction loop are basically the same loop. You feel good, but nothing changes. You come back to feel good again, your channel stays exactly where it was. I wouldn't mind seeing that change for the better. And more people growing means more revenue for YouTube anyway, right? So what's my plan then for this channel? Well, going forward, I'm going to be focusing more on a model that feels right to me. I'm not 100% sure exactly how yet, but I know the rough direction. More honest practical content, reviews, how-tos, real workflow content, honest takes on tools and products, including the ones that aren't worth your time or money. Titles that tell you what's inside, thumbnails that show you what you're going to get from the video, videos that tell you exactly what you'll get and then deliver it. Less forced curiosity, just useful, actionable value, not videos that just top up the feeling of wanting to improve, because that's not the same as actually improving. I want to give people things that they implement today, not just feel good about. That's what I'm going to move towards. And I have to admit, it's a risk. It might not be what the algorithm rewards most, but I believe there's an audience that rewards it with trust, and trust over time is worth more than clicks. That's a type of retention I can get behind. Let's see if I can make it work. I honestly don't know. You might be wondering, aren't tutorials and how-tos dead? And I've heard some people say this too. But I don't think so. Some people think that AI will take these over, but I'm not so sure, because while AI can tell you how and it can present information, it's normally just getting that information from an already existing source. And it can't actually show you how. It can't think outside the box, and it usually agrees with the direction that you already seem to be on. It's biased, basically, and it tries to say what you want to hear. It rarely confronts you or disagrees. Quite simply, it doesn't tell you the truth, and therefore it doesn't have trust or connection. And how-tos and tutorials are still going strong from what I can see. I literally use them most days, and I use search to find them. So the reality then, I don't know for sure if this plan will work, but I also didn't know that I'd ever reach monetization and be sitting here making this video for you now. But I kept grinding and I didn't give up, and I got there in the end. And if I was actually a growth channel, then I did it in a highly competitive niche. So maybe I can do it again and reach the next level. But I'll get there in my own way, or I'll admit defeat and quit. I'm not selling out my principles for a quick buck. Now, I'm fully aware that some of my viewers might not like a new direction, but I have to evolve. It might be that I have to lose some people to go in this slightly different direction. I might also have to retrain the algorithm on what my channel's about. I'll do that when I've worked it out myself. Because even after 10 months, I'm still learning, experimenting, and deciding what to do. I might never work it out or make it work. It's a risk, but so was starting this channel 10 months ago. So I want to leave you with 3 things that I think you need to hear. The first is a challenge. If you've been watching this channel, or any channel like it, and you're not moving forward, I want you to ask yourself something honestly. Is the content you're consuming actually changing what you do, Or is it just making you feel better about not changing what you do? Because those are very different things. And if it's the second one, something needs to shift. You already know what needs to happen, you just haven't done it yet. The second is about direction. For me, getting monetized felt like a weight lifted. One chapter ending, so another can begin. And I'm starting that next chapter with cautious optimism. I know what I want this channel to be. I have an idea of the kind of content that I want to make. And I know the kind of creator that I want to be. Honest, useful, specific, less manipulated urgency, just real answers for people who are ready to act on them. That's the channel that I'm trying to build from here. Let's see if I can do it. The third thing that I want to leave you with is gratitude. To everyone who's been here, whether you found this video today or you've been watching since the beginning, I just want to say thank you. I really mean that. Every comment, every view, every subscription, all of it contributed to this moment, and all of it matters more than I can really articulate properly. You've been part of my journey, and whatever comes next, I hope that you'll be part of that too. This might not be the video that you expected, but I hope it's the one that you needed. If it was, go hit the like button and the subscribe button and leave me a comment, and then go and get to work, and I'll see you in the next chapter.